So my name is Caroline Dickensheets, and I'm an assistant conservator at RLA Conservation. So up in the lift, we have Junior Norellis. He's our chief technician. He's been with RLA since, I believe, 2011. And this is our conservation technician, Deanna Friedel. So painted surfaces inevitably are going to deteriorate. You're going to have to repaint them at some point. That being said, there are appropriate paint systems, methods that you can use that will ensure greater longevity, and that's what we're really trying to do here. Like you said, it's going to be the third repaint, so we're really hoping that this time, between the products that we use and the process that we execute, it's going to give a longer lasting, more durable finish to the sculpture. So as you can see, we're removing the top layers of paint, and we have more than one layer of this red paint. But below it, you can see a gray primer, and that gray primer is actually very well adhered. So what that shows us is that the primer is doing fine. It's well attached to the metal. The problem are these top coats of red paint. They're not sticking to each other, and they're definitely not sticking to the primer. That's what's allowing us to strip them relatively easily. That being said, once we get them all off, we're going to need to properly prep the surface so that we can apply the proper coating in the proper manner. So we are scheduled to be on site for about 3 weeks. About 90% of that time is prep work. So we're still removing all that red paint. We're going to have to prepare the surface, and then it's going to be those final few days where they're actually applying the finished coat. That being said, the process of conserving this artwork started back in 2019 when our principal conservator, Kelly Ciociola, came out and did an assessment. That's when she was able to see what was actually going on. Was there damage to the metal, or is this all just happening in the surface layer of paint? After that process got started, we were able to consult with the artist in order to determine what the appropriate finish coat would be for this specific artwork, that being the color, the sheen, and the specific type of paint. Yeah. It takes a lot. We're going to be looking at about at least 10 gallons to cover the surface of this, which we're going to be applying it using a spray gun. We usually prefer this method to rolling. It provides more adhesion on the surface, and it's also a more flawless finish. Yeah. So we're using a fluoropolymer paint coating, which is the industry standard. It's the best that you're going to get. The manufacturer typically says it's going to be about 12 to 14 years before you're looking at a repaint. But we're in Florida, and the sun's really harsh, so I like to say between 8 to 12 years. And that's given that proper maintenance and care is provided to the sculpture. So when you're looking for, it depends on the type of metal, what type of sculpture. If it's painted, any signs of flaking, fading, that's going to be a sign that maybe your coating is not doing too well. Paint is a finished coat. It's meant to deteriorate over time. What you're really going to be concerned about is when you start to see cracking. That means that maybe water or other things such as biological growth are getting under that surface. And that's when it can really cause damage to the actual metal sculpture. So you really want to keep an eye out for that. So you have to remember that the paint is both a pretty color, but it's also protecting the sculpture itself.
Like you in general.
You see a lot more cracks. You see cracks in buildings. You see cracks in objects. But I think you can also appreciate objects that have aged well, right? Things that have developed a beautiful patina. We get to travel all over for this work, and I get to see so many different sculptures, both outdoor sculptures and beautiful buildings, and you get to both appreciate it and also understand how you can care for it. We can always do better with taking care of our collections and our buildings, and this job really highlights that.